the old gods, the heathen gods, and keep it underground. We would have it, otherwise it would have been worn away. The inscription would have been worn away totally. The runes say the gift of Ing. Ing was the founder of the English people. Ing came to these shores as sheep from Scandinavia and northern Germany. The legend have it that he came in a boat in Beowulf with a sun disk, and he brought with him the fire stick. This is Heimdall or Harmer at one level. Ing gave his name to the English people. The legend of the church, in the church, is about a man named Saint Cuthman. When our religion was oppressed, what the people did, the initiates did, was to hide their secrets in fairy tales, in mythology, even in the pack of cards that everybody uses today. And they also hid it within a dual faith that existed, because Christianity did not wipe away the old faith. It still existed up till 1,000 years ago. It existed, and existed beyond that in other ways. But 1,000 years ago there was a dual faith in this country. If you look at a church, there's a church up in Leicestershire, Breedon on the Hill. Inside the church is a frieze of Anglo-Saxon swastikas around the outside of the church, inside, which have been incorporated into the church. There are 2 stones inside the church, both of which depict, one side is the entry to Valhalla, which is the Norse gods. The other side is an Old Testament tradition. So at this time there was still 2 faiths, and it's probably likely that Christian priests were also pagan priests as well. They still held on to that old faith, and they still hold on to the runes. These runes hold a secret, because the gift of Ing and this legend of Cuthman is a legend of the founding of this country, because Cuthman, the name means kinman. The legend is held in the Anglo-Saxon rune poem. Ing followed his wain eastwards across the waves. The wain is a great bear in the northern skies. Ing is a constellation called Otis, which follows the wain. This is hidden in the Anglo-Saxon rune poem, but it also hides the fact that the English came over from the east to these lands, which was their destiny. This stone holds the origin and the destiny of the English race. The peoples of this country who were here before were not just Celtic, as they said. There were Germanic people as well. It was a mixture of peoples. It was a mixture of peoples, some of whom worshipped Woden as Gwydion. The myths are the same, the Celtic myths are the same as the English myths in part. And all this is being distorted to try to run a rift between the peoples of this land, which is not necessary. We have a runic system that we are building called the Arcan Runelag, which is the secret way of the sun. The sun being the creative light for this solar system, and the black sun being the creative light of our people. Within the runic system there are secrets. We have the Tyr rune, which symbolises Tyr, the one-handed god, the Sky Father. The Beork rune, which is the birth mother. The rune, which is the divine marriage of the Sky Father and the birth mother. In 1999 we had a solar eclipse, which was the marriage of the sun and the moon. Also at the same time, and I'm going to quote from a biblical text here, you had the sign of the Son of Man would appear in heavens. Now I don't know who wrote that, or whether it's been rewritten or not, but it fits exactly in with Norse mythology, because in Norse mythology it says the sun will turn black and the hot stars will fall from the sky. The sun turned black on the 11th of August 1999. On the 12th, the Perseid meteor shower, the hot stars fell from the sky. The sign of the Son of Man was the Ingrum, which was the star positions in the sky, was the shape of an Ingrum. This was also prophesied by Nostradamus, but people get that one wrong as well. I think I've been into that before anyway, so I won't go over that one again. If anybody wants to ask about it, then they can do, but I have been into that before. But he does say the king of the Anglemois, and they say that's an anagram of Mongols. Angle is the primal being of the English, the Angles. So Nostradamus prophesied the date July 1999, which is a month out, but with the date and calendars being changed, he would have been spot on with that one. So you had the divine marriage of the Sky Father and the Birth Mother. Now that would bring forth a new age. The one that comes after that is Man, the Manu, Hama, Heimdall, who incarnates to bring the laws of race, or the laws of caste. Then you've got the Lagu again, which connects with Norse mythology, because you've got the flood. Lagu is lake, the seas or waters, and then you've got the Ingrum, and the Ingrum is the rune of the hero. It's the rune of the divine hero that manifests after the flood. Then you've got the Dagas rune and the Ethel rune or Odal rune. Now Dagas rune is the rune of day, and the Odal rune is the rune of Atal. It comes from the root Atal, which is race. And the two runes are interchangeable. Day is the rune of time in association more with an hourglass. It's the shape of an hourglass, so it can go either way. So we've come to a point in time when we've got to push it. We've got to push destiny. You can't sit back and expect fate just to take its place, because it doesn't. We have got to fulfill the destiny of our people. And that destiny will be fulfilled within the next few years. There are going to be catastrophic changes, and those catastrophic changes are already prophesied. They are already coming apart. Everything today that's happening is happening as it was said in ancient times. No matter what tradition you look at, all of these things are coming about at what they call the end times. The Christian tradition has it, the end time. The Mayans call it the end of time, when all things would disintegrate. Blavatsky said about the dissolution of the races, which would happen, which is an occurrence that's happening now. But these occurrences only mean that the earth is going through its winter period of destruction. Everything goes through its spring, summer, autumn and winter. And at this point of time, at the winter period, in the Dark Age or Kali Yuga, everything will be dissolved back into its primal form, into chaos. And that is what's happening on this planet today. But it won't last forever. This chaotic force has ruled now for a couple of thousand years. This time is coming to an end. This is the end period of our people. It's the end of this time, but it's also the end is a new beginning. There's no such thing as a final end. There's no such thing as a stop and that's it. Cycle goes back to the new spring and to a new order.